Alright, what's up, guys? So, Blarg on his second channel, Good Enough, has uploaded a video titled My Car Reveal C63 AMG Review. Yeah, I was waiting for a video on this channel, and this video it was uploaded some days ago, and yeah, I ain't feel like doing the math because I'm like, I've been sitting here doing all of that. Y'all ain't gotta see all that. But anyway, some days ago he uploaded the first video on this channel, and I've been waiting for it because I was really interested into this and things. So if you guys didn't know, Blarg, this is his car channel, and yeah, besides gaming, this man he's into cars too. So yeah, let's go ahead see. I think it's like him and a friend of his that's a part of this channel. So yeah, let's go ahead get into this video. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this video. Gotta get the bands, get the car keys. Okay. Good enough auto. Watch Blarg. I'm calling it Blarg. It's like if YouTube, like, and he's just like then accomplish all of the gaming stuff, Blarg is gonna become like a mechanic. And watch, it's gonna be a day where I like going to the place, just try and get a car fixed, and he's just like, I remember you used to react to every video I uploaded. Like this is what you're doing now? Like you just getting cars fixed? It's nice.
Hello and welcome to what is not only the first video on this channel, but also my first attempt ever at doing a car review. So there's a lot of great cars out there to review, but
Yes,
naturally
that's
I
true.
figured it'd probably be best to start with my own car. So that being said, welcome to the Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG W204.
Speaking of Mercedes-Benz, I wonder if that's something I'm curious on. I wonder if he's seen the video on the Vision Avatar Mercedes-Benz. Like, damn, that car, that's a Mercedes-Benz. I'm like, I feel like all Mercedes-Benz cars are nice, but that one, that's what's like made me like open my eyes about Mercedes-Benz cars. So I've always been like a muscle car guy, so. But yeah, that's nice though. Like Blarg's like, look, use this all like you can see me in the streets or you can see me in Rainbow Six Siege. You choose.
So, quick rundown of this car. It has a 6.2 liter V8, naturally aspirated, that puts out just under 500 horsepower, straight to the rear wheels, through a 7-speed automatic gearbox. So I actually bought this used. This is a W204 model. And the reason I ended up with this is I actually went to go test drive a W205. But I saw this, test drove it once, and ended up buying it on the spot. Now, it is not the best car. I'll be honest with you. The suspension feels like it's made of rocks and stone. It kind of looks like a tractor. It's really not the fastest car because it just kind of spins its wheels. And in the corners, it's okay at best.
Some cars are like that.
Oh, 3,000 RPMs, by the way. Continuing with the faults, they put these nice, comfy sports seats that are nice and plush, but they might as well have put fucking church pews. It feels so pointless when you have this rock hard suspension with these low profile tires. And the issues definitely don't end there. When you put your foot down, either the transmission does nothing and then sends you off rocketing 100 miles an hour.
That makes you wonder, like, are some cars just like, most cars, like they can be considered a show car, but that makes you wonder, like, did they make this car just for the view? Like, based off of what he's saying, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of uncomfortable things on this car. So that makes you just wonder, like, are some cars just made for just the view, like no comfort and stuff? Then it's like speaking on that like futuristic Avatar Mercedes car, like, is that car comfortable? I'm just trying to know, because I wouldn't want to get one of these cars and then next thing you know, I'm just driving and then trying to find like comfort and things. Or if it's like a day I'm really upset and I just get mad and try to like scoop and I ain't spent the wheel and then spun out, so.
Or it just jerks, and then you're at the speed you want it to be. It's never just a smooth transition off the line. You're either going the speed of sound your back tires are still sitting where you took off and your car's on fire, or you're just sitting there getting whiplash over and over for about 30 seconds till you figured it out. Right? The whole reason we like big naturally aspirated engines as car enthusiasts is that there's no turbo lag. But when you have a slow transmission, it might as well have turbo lag. But it's like the negative aspects of having a turbocharged car, but without the nice smoothness and the low down grunt. But when you're on a twisty road, and you can put your foot down a little bit, you just forget about all of it. And it just becomes this primitive feeling again of joy.
That's good, at least.
And you just feel like a kid in a go-kart. Just a really heavy, deadly go-kart is what this car is. And that's awesome. I didn't buy this car because it's super fast around a track or it could beat any other supercar in a straight line. That's not what it's meant to be, and that's not who it is. This car, I feel like, is a lot like me and every other grown man with the mentality of a 7-year-old child. This car just wants to tear its wheels off, make a lot of noise, and it makes you happy. And that's the most important thing about a car. Because you can have cars that have 700 horsepower and that can do 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. But it's hard to find a car that has as much personality, as much...
You would think, like... I don't know. Well, yeah, because he plays on PC, but you would think like you would have seen. I don't know. I guess like maybe if I went back and checked some of Blarg's like older videos, you would think like he would be highly interested in games like Forza or what are some other Gran Turismo, Gran Turismo. Because I was like, I always get that movie Gran Torino confused, but no, Gran Turismo or any other like like very realistic racing game out there. But anyways.
Qualities to it as an AMG Mercedes does. As a driving machine and as something that you could drive to work and feel happier after your drive than before. There's really nothing better than an AMG. I think the best proof of that is that no other car out there sounds quite as good.
Dang.
God, what a sound. I absolutely it sounds like an angry dog and it wants to tear its tires off, and that's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's not, but it is. A lot of what this car reminds me of is a businessman with ducky socks on. Let me explain. So to the normal
it's like he got that car because of the job that he works at, but he's still a kid at heart.
Car enthusiast. They'll see this car and they'll just see, okay, it's just a Mercedes, whatever. Not bad, C-Class, decent car. Can't really complain about it. Nothing great, nothing bad. But to the car enthusiasts and to others, they know that it's got personality to it. It's not just the way it looks. It's not just how well it's dressed. It has this goofy, stupid quality to it that really you have to be a car enthusiast to know about. I think that two-sided factor of the C63.
So always like my thing is like there's always like a backstory to something, so you can't just look at something and be like, oh, all right, but it's like you gotta like figure it out, understand it, like why is it here today?
Makes me enjoy it so much, not only as something to get to point A to point B with, but also something that's just enjoyable.
Do you have a spoiler? Oh.
So the reason I actually went with the
Mercedes...
Mercedes...
I don't know why I felt like I thought he had like a spoiler. Huh. I might be hallucinating, guys. Like, I don't think there's no drugs in I could have sworn that, like, not like a big spoiler, but just like, I thought it was just like small and like low. I mean, it still is something there, but I don't know why. I just, you know what? We just gonna ignore that. We just gonna ignore that.
Instead of a nicer looking, more relaxing Audi or a great cruiser like a Cadillac or potentially supercar killing BMW, actually goes back to a car before this one.
That's nice.
Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz C450 AMG Sport. It's a lot. Oh wait, I forgot 4MATIC. 4MATIC Sport. This car is not the fastest car. It is not the prettiest car. Again, which seems to be a theme with Mercedes.
It looks more like a luxury type car. It looks like, you know, if it had been like black, it looks like that type of car that would pick you up to like go to the airport or something, or it's like some like Secret Service like presidential car.
And it is not the best handling or even the most comfortable car. Even the new version, the C43, which is the brand new version of this car that Mercedes has come out with, is really not that special. It's a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 that puts out under 400 horsepower. I think 0 to 60 happens in about 4.5, 4.6 seconds, which is a respectable number. It's not a slow car. It's not a fast car. It's respectable, you know? It's nothing crazy. But this car represents a lot more than just that to me. Because this car is my dad's car.
Oh.
This car is what I got to drive when I was 18. I had a Hyundai before this. It was a good car. I had the Hyundai Veloster. I had no issues with it, but it wasn't, there's nothing to it, right? It's just a compact, regular, little, boring car. So this was the first car I got to drive that like had any power. And I remember the first time I put my foot down in this car when we test drove one, I was mind blown. I thought this was the fastest thing in the world. It doesn't get any quicker than this car. Obviously it does, but this car really represented the start for me. It represented the start of my passion for cars. And just listen.
Oh wow.
It pops on the upshifts.
Yeah.
It has no reason to do that. In an engineering standpoint, there is feasibly no point. But they did it anyway. Because
like
it's fun.
Presidential car, but with like, you know, it got to stay, well, not true to itself, but overall it's like, you know, like I'm with it. Like, so
and that's
like that's what
really
he was saying, like it's a respectable car,
in love with
not
the
fast,
Mercedes
not
brand,
slow.
Is that let's throw a little bit of childishness into what is otherwise just a grown man's daily driver to get to work and back. Let's add a little bit of fun to it, a little bit of flair, which is so un-German of them, but they do it anyway. It's so dumb. Oh God. It's the saddest little... It's so dumb, but when you go from driving a Hyundai with literally 100 and something horsepower to this, it feels like such a big step up.
Yeah.
And then you hear that exhaust, and I've just never felt...
It's like, my thing is like, unless they, you know, they make a car that is comparable to that, I didn't even have my fan on this whole time for my laptop. I was just like, where does this wire go to? Now I'm like scared because I'm like, bro, if I've been doing a bunch of videos without my microphone being plugged in, I'm like, I'm going to yell as loud as I possibly can. But no, it's, what was I saying? Oh yeah, on the Hyundai. Like, unless they make a car that's comparable to a Mercedes-Benz, then I feel like that would be the only way, you know, like there would be like kind of equal. But yeah, a Hyundai ain't comparing to, unless like I said, there's like some equivalent to it, but they're not compared to no Mercedes-Benz. That's why you'll see more Hyundais than Mercedes-Benz, because it's like, that's a car, it's like you crash it, wreck it, you get another one. Mercedes-Benz, you crash and wreck it, you're going to sit there and be crying for a second.
Do that in the car.
I mean, you're going to be crying regardless, but...
It made me so happy the first time I did it. And still to this day, even after driving a big naturally aspirated V8, that little, after you upshift, still to this day, just makes me so fucking happy.
That's a nice car. That's very nice, yeah. Now it's like when I see, because after that video of that like Vision Avatar Mercedes, like now when I like see a Mercedes, I'm like, oh, this is what I've been, because like I said, I've been like mainly into like muscle cars or like some exotic like cars like a Koenigsegg or like Bugattis or like Lamborghinis and stuff. You know, cars I'm like nowhere near getting in things, but you know, just interested in them to like know something about them. So but yeah, like back in the day, back in the day, like this channel would have almost been a car channel. Like I remember I think yeah, because I uploaded a video talking about Mustangs and Camaros, made like $15 off of the video, but then ended up screwing up YouTube somehow. Then I couldn't make any money off of the video, so I was just doing a bunch of. But I was like, no, I was like really into like muscle cars, like Dodge. And yeah, I did mention that I do have a car channel. And yeah, there's gonna probably be videos up on there's videos up on there already, but no, it's like we would love to do videos like this one day, but first I would need a car.
I guess to summarize and to wrap this up, I really do love this car. There's very few cars out there I would trade this for that you can live with every day if you want to, and that you can have such a good time with at such a reasonable price point. Now you can get a pretty good spec for 40,000 Canadian with low kilometers on it. And around that price range for this type of quality of material, this type of fun, this type of emotion, there's not much out there, man. In a world where everybody wants to be as efficient, as compact, as smart, intelligent, and as well thought out as realistically possible, I love that this car represents a time before that. A time where let's just put a big fucking V8 in it and who cares what happens. And not every car needs that. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. There's a huge market and it is better the way we're going of these turbocharged, these hybrid cars. They are genuinely better vehicles. But as something that just makes you happy, this step back in technology, this almost dumbed down car is phenomenal in its own right. I know a lot of people, when they think of this car, they think of how stupid it is. And they're not wrong. And they think, what's the point of that car? A Mustang, a Camaro, a Corvette, any of those cars that are half the price could smoke it on a track. And maybe even some of them could beat it in a straight line. But that's missing the point. Jeremy Clarkson actually made a really good comparison once using dogs. You can have the best dogs. You can have super fast, intelligent, smart guard dogs. But people will still buy pugs. Yeah. They'll buy those stupid little chubby sausage dogs. This is a chubby little sausage car. Not every car needs to be, you know, a 6-minute lap on the fucking Nürburgring. Yeah. It's just excessive and it's pointless. I'm never gonna need that extra stiffness in the suspension, or I'm not gonna need the weight loss of replacing the back seats with a roll cage on the road, right? That the extra 0.3 seconds it would save on the track would make this now an inconvenient road car. And they didn't forget about that with these regular AMGs. They are good road cars. The suspension is too stiff, like I said, and they're kind of just big tractors with V8 motors in them, but that's fun. It's fun spinning out. Maybe not. Maybe that wasn't a good point. If somebody came to me tomorrow and asked me to sell this car to them for a brand new W205 C63 fresh off the production line, I would say no. And I think that speaks for itself with this car. I would take this car
connected
over every...
No, it's like there's things in life that you will be connected to, whether it's a car, whether it's a dog or a house or anything. It's like, if that's what you want, like, you deserve it. So, and that's, and you know, like, and pretty much like that point he made, like, about like the dogs, it's like, it's a very, very good point. And that's how I am like with Mustangs. There's cars, people that's like in a situation like him where, you know, you have a Mercedes-Benz. People will look at that because they're all like, oh, who wants a Mustang? Mustangs ain't compared to no Mercedes. And there's friends that I grew up with where they've had all of like the crap things to say about Mustangs, because Mustangs is that's my dream car. I would love, like, my thing was just like, at one point, I remember there was this dealership, and I remember me and my sister, we drove past it, and there was this 2013 Boss 302 Mustang. And it was, I think it was green. Bro, that hit me here. But people would look at that car and just be like, oh, that's a Mustang, that's nothing. They want a Tesla or a Mercedes or just whatever, you know. And there's people out there that will want that car because it's the best car in the market. That's like the car where it's like, you know, people are gonna be looking at you and be, you know, fascinated, or you know, they just gonna be interested. And there's gonna probably be people that look at my Boss 302 Mustang and then they just like, oh, it's just an ugly muscle car. That's nothing. That ain't, you know. And but it's all about that connection. You know, my sister, she loves Volkswagen Beetles. And I don't, well, actually, you know what? No, I don't even think she likes those cars anymore. She likes Dodge Chargers now, but it's all about connections. Like, you have a connection with that car. Like, my mom, my dad, and my mom, they love Corvettes. That's one thing I love to do, and that's probably a video that y'all will see one day, probably on this channel or my car channel. But I definitely would love to get them to like twin Corvettes, like, but yeah, because they both love Corvettes. So I'm saying, help me grow, so that can be a thing. You know, I would love to do that, but and then get my sister a Dodge Challenger, you know, or not Challenger, Charger, but yeah, Challengers are nice cars too, and I like those cars too. But there's like one of the slowest muscle cars ever, but it's all about that connection. So
single super saloon that's on the market right now. And I think that really speaks for it a lot. When we live in a world where you can buy a new Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio, or a new Audi RS5, or an M5, or an M3, I think the fact that I would take this car speaks for itself. Nothing has ever brought back that emotional response like this car has. And that's why I love it.
Guy even got that outro song. Yeah, man, but it's like, nah, he's making some valid points in this video. I like this video. I like this channel altogether. It's a good channel, but no, he was making some valid points. You know, it's like that with a lot of things, but and even it's just like, you know, even more examples. Shoes, like I got a gang of shoes, all of these shoes, and there's one particular shoe where I'm like, if let's say if I didn't have that shoe, and or if I like, or let's say if I did have that shoe, but somebody were to approach me and say, oh, I'll give you the most expensive shoes in the world, I'll give you some like retro like Air Jordan 1s, like the ones that he was wearing out on the court and stuff. And there's like, in my favorite pair, I don't even know where they're at right now, but it's so these Jordans right here, these like reflective ones. So I have ones that's just like that, but instead of the reflective part, it's black. So those Jordans, the black infrared sixes, that's like a shoe that's near and dear to my heart. I love that shoe to death. Will not trade that shoe in for anything. And if it came down to it, where if I had all of these shoes and all I had to do was just trade them in for them shoes, I'd do it, because it's all about connection. So it's like, he has a connection to that car, which you have to respect. People might not like a Mercedes, but hey, you just gotta respect that man's connection. But anyways, no, that was a pretty good video. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Blarg's second channel, Good Enough. And yeah, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.